Welcome, beautiful creatures, to the Lightness of Being podcast, where we celebrate the dance of life and explore ways to find joy, laughter, and lightness, even when faced with challenges. Join me, your host, Monika Stefanik, as we step into the light and discover a realm of potential and possibilities for greater ease in our lives. Let's laugh, learn, and grow together.
Welcome to this episode of the Lightness of Being podcast with my sweet Capricorn sister. We have so much. We share so much.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me today.
I feel like we're the same person in different bodies so most of the time.
Yeah.
Our life experiences just end up like mirroring each other. Just like a few months off.
Yeah.
Which is so beautiful to get to witness, because we get to be this really incredible like support system for each other since we've come into communion.
Yeah.
It's been such a gift.
Yeah. And I get to show you it's like 4 years in advance from where you are right now. I'm being 35.
I'm ready to be a mom.
I'm going to be a mom. Like, this is how good it gets. Yeah.
And it's only going to get better.
The best is yet to come. It's one of the posts, one of my sticky notes right now on my mirrors.
The best is yet to come.
Yet to come. I'm like, it's already been so good.
Yeah.
And the best
is yet to come.
How does it get better?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love that. I'm going to have to write that one down. That's a good one. Yeah. So I tell you that I'll like shout out to the universe nowadays, like show me how good it gets.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the one that I usually ask is, how does it get better? And now I'm just like, no,
Just
show me how good it gets. Like, I'm fully here for it. Just like bring it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm here to witness.
Which like is so beautiful to get to operate from that space. And also when we ask, as we're both experiencing at this point in time, there's a clearing that must occur.
Mass clearing. Everything we've ever known. All of ourselves we've ever been
is going through another like death, rebirth, transformation cycle over here. Because I think not only are we recording this on the Scorpio full moon of Taurus season, which I feel like is such an interesting dynamic of energy, but something also happened with Pluto recently. Like, I don't know if it went retrograde or something. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to pretend like I know what's going on. But Pluto is still that planet of like death, rebirth, transformation for the next like. It moves really slowly.
Because it's the outer planet, so it takes the longest to transit. Okay.
So we're going to be spiraling in that stuff
Great.
for a little while.
And we're still in Venus's shadow.
Yeah.
That's not done yet either.
That's not done yet either.
I've been waiting for like, when do we settle? It feels like it's been at least 2 to 3 months of upheaval.
Yeah.
And I'm like reading, the Jasmine's astrology report every month. And I'm like, is this the month that we settle? Oh, no, not yet.
No.
Okay.
Change is the only constant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's more. All right. I'm really ready for things to start landing. It's like, I'm really good in the unknown, but not for months and months and months. It's like, I need something.
Yeah. I feel like we get little respites. Like, I feel like we were kind of just in one, at least personally. I feel like I experienced one for a little while, and now we're in this new phase. So it's like, okay, you'll go through this big stuff and I'll give you a little bit of time to rest. So take it. Don't just like force and push, right? So take this time to rest. And also like, I think based on the conversation I had with Jasmine and just what I know from even reading through the Gene Keys is we're in this interesting period of time, honestly, until like 2027.
Oh my God. Okay. That's great.
I was like, you're not gonna like
That's great. That's so long.
So long. But it gets to be this really like everything is going to change, and it's all going to change for the better. Like all of our foundations are really going to start to shift, and on a collective level, we're going to get to regrow. I feel like in a way that's a lot more in alignment with spirit, with nature, with each other, which it's like we've been so disconnected. So we really need to find our way back, and that's just going to take some time. And it's going to take some crumbling. It's going to take some shedding and some clearing.
I think it's inevitable. Yeah. And I mean, everything that's taken place in these last few months, none of it has been necessarily like bad or negative or wrong. It's all been so right. It's been challenging, but it's nothing that has transformed. Have I been like, oh, what? Wasn't expecting that, It's like everything that has shifted feels like it needed to shift when it shifted, whether things ended or just look differently now. But it's like every aspect of my life has changed. There is nothing about my life currently
that's the same as it was a few months ago.
As it was a few months ago. Not a thing. And again, it's like it's all in a forward direction, and it makes sense even when it doesn't make sense. And so that's been my faith, is just the allowance and knowing that it feels right even though it doesn't maybe make sense to my human brain yet.
And
it's been hard.
It's been hard, and it's okay to like acknowledge that. I feel like you and I are both pretty good at staying pretty positive, like, yeah, this is happening for me, which like a lot of us are, which is great. And also like
for me, through me.
And I reached this state the other day where it's like, it's also okay for me to, not even just okay, it's like very important to acknowledge the humanness and like be in the emotions of the things that are present in that moment, because like we can't like move forward if we're repressing all of that stuff. So it's like, okay, I think I was like crying into my bowl of yogurt the other morning when I found out about this move, right? Which like most people that listen to the podcast, it's like, oh, we're moving again. Yes. News. I'm moving again. But it's not just me, it's our whole home. So this is a fun new development. Talk about clearing and right. Yeah, there's a lot in that. But that leads into the space of like deep trust that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So right now, do you want to share what's up in your world and how that relates to what you're going through?
Yeah, thank you. I would love to.
Great. Enlighten us with all your wisdom.
Gosh. I mean, it really started when you sent me that post about what not to do in retrograde season.
Oh.
And I was like, oh gosh, I was mostly unaware that there was like so much we shouldn't be doing in retrograde season. And I took it so seriously. I was like, okay, no big conversations, no big moves. I'm not signing anything. And they were like, I knew I was wanting to quit my jobs, but I was like, nope, not right now. There were things on the precipice, but I was like, not right now. I honored eclipse season so fully. I did nothing rash. I rested, I was so aware. And then with Venus in retrograde, like that sparked a lot of relationship transitions as well, which I think was incredibly necessary. And we have come out so much stronger. And that was a really deep portal for us. And so like our relationship now looks different internally and externally. And then on a personal level, it was my jobs. Like I have no jobs at the moment. I've got a couple weeks left at the apothecary, and then I quit the gym. And both of those decisions came from a place of just like not feeling valued and not feeling honored and not feeling respected. And it also came down to like a lack of communication between myself and the owners of these two places. And so I really had to look at myself and was like, what is it about me that makes these people like not able to talk to me? And then a coworker like reframed that entirely and was like, maybe it's not about you. It's about you needing to stand up for you. And I was like, damn it. You're right. And so I mulled it over and I sat within the next week. I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, because what I shared last week, it's like if I'm willing to work in a place or for people who I don't feel are respecting me, that's a mirror. That's just showing me that I don't respect myself. And I'm willing to work in a place where I don't feel valued. And so I just had to like take a look at myself. And so I had two really hard conversations with both of my employers, and both of them ended. resulted in no longer working for them, which going into it, I knew, I had planned for that. But I mean, talk about blind faith. It's just not like me. It's not like me to just go in and quit without having other things lined up. Because I can be spontaneous, but I'm also really calculated about it,
Well, there's that aspect of like our essence too, especially like having so much Capricorn in our chart of security.
Yeah, this is the first time in my life I've just been like, okay, like take my hand. I don't know where we're going, but let's go. And I know that this job no longer resonates. It's, we're not like, our energies are creating friction. And this other job I love, and it just felt like it was time to let that go as well. So my life has completely cleared, and I don't actually know what's next. I don't know where my income is coming from. I've got 2 weeks left at the herb shop, and then I'm done there as well. And so I'm in a place of, for the first time, also like not contracting and just like trying to stay expanded, because we can't expand if we're contracted, right? And
it's like expanding into the ethers. Which I like admire so much. I'm like, I honestly don't know if I could do that without having like an underlying security space where I'm like, whoa.
And I mean, I've got irons in the fire,
of course,
and I'm working on alchemy with Amari, but it's like, it's the start of a business that's not ever really lucrative from the get-go. So it's like, okay, what can I do to make money on the side while I'm like working on that passion? But this is for sure the first time in my life I like haven't had multiple things planned before taking a chosen sabbatical. So it's just a massive void space. And I am doing everything I know how to stay solid and sane, and, diving into my self-care, taking action on my business, trusting, listening, all of the things. And it's also really fucking scary. It's like bravery meets fear, and it's just a fucking weird place to oscillate back and forth from.
Well, you're doing great with it. I would never know.
Wow. Yeah, Stuart Wilde is one of my favorite speakers to listen to, and he talks about it's like, if we want to get really straight with something, if there's something that we want to manifest or work on or whatever it is, we need to create, I think I read it too, we need to create that solidity within ourselves first, because it's like, if our energy is all over the place, then where's home? And what's anchoring us? And what are we even listening to if we're not home? And so it's been so important for me to just dive headfirst into self-care. And so he talks about like the solidity of our bioelectric field, and like honing in all of that energy to then harness it. And then it's like, when we are straight and we are home, then we can listen and life can flow through us. And so that's just been my focus, and like, I'm trusting in that alone right now. It's like, okay, I trust that if I'm getting up really early every morning and I'm doing my morning routine and I'm going to yoga and I'm eating well, I'm meditating, I'm doing all of the things I know I should be doing, and, dancing and, a clean home, a clean vessel, all of the things. And it's like, I trust that action alone will allow me to receive and to really be able to listen, to then figure out what my next step is. And I'm still in the void.
And that's okay. We love it. The void space is so ripe with possibility. I love hearing you express that, because I feel like I really needed that reminder. Because number one, like, if our energy is all over the place, even if we're asking for certain things, right, from the universe, it's like, if we're not, my main thing, which I've talked to you about, is like getting really clean and clear. Like, I'll ask for things, but I'm also like, I don't feel like I'm super clear on exactly what I'm asking for. So like, part of my practice is like really honing that in, which does come from having a very honed internal system, right? Because if we're feeling even a little bit of chaos in here, that is going to come out in how we're expressing and asking for what we want from our life. But what I was kind of going back to was my experience at the beginning of the year and how I like dove deep into my self-care and into my kundalini when I was going through this like big emotional upheaval. And I had to move into this place that ended up coming in, and there was just so much, and my computer broke. Like there was so much that was going on. Like there was so much chaos. And like the one thing that I had was like, I just have to go into this space of taking care of myself and my vessel, and like showing up to my practice every single day, and the magnetism that attracted from that space and everything, and like the connection that I had with source was like undeniable. The messages that were coming in were so clean and clear, and anytime I would ask, it would come through so quickly and with ease, and I was just like, wow, thank you so much. And the only association that I can have with that is really honing in this space. And it was so deeply uncomfortable the whole time. And it was crunchy, and it was messy, and it was chaotic, but that stability of coming back into my practices of like honing this space and that connection that we have with the divine is like, this is how we navigate our way through the void, because we can't see where we're going, but we can deeply trust in the guidance that's present. And something that I always think about and go back to is, this is a conversation we had probably maybe over a year ago, 2 years ago, but I remember when you told me there was a moment when you were in your apartment at one point in time and you just got down on your knees and just like shouted, I trust to the universe. I think about that all the time whenever I'm in moments of like deep upheaval, and like as I've been working through my my journey with divinely deeply trusting in the unfoldment of the universe. That's something that I always come back to, and it's been such a guiding light. And I don't know if I've told you.
Oh, that's gorgeous. I had no idea.
So through that, I've developed my own establishment and like relationship with that deep trust, and I've totally had those moments of like being on my knees, and also had moments of joy of like, yes, okay, things are crumbling, and also I'm not in as an emotionally chaotic, like dysregulated nervous system state, so I may not be on my knees, but I'm still in that state of like, okay, universe, I know that this is happening for me. I deeply trust through me.
Nothing happens to me.
No. There's like an unfoldment that's happening for my highest and greatest good, and like that expansion that I'm leaning into can only happen if like, apparently if I move. That's the thing that's happening right now, and not even just for me, but for my roommates, my housemates as well. It's like we're all in a state of like really big expansion, and like even though we love where we live and this is so beautiful, it's like, okay, I could get wrapped up in the like, I just moved and I just feel settled and all of this, but it's like, that's so beautiful.
Yes, and
I'm like, I also always knew moving into this place, I was like, I had this awareness that I wasn't going to be here for super long, but I didn't know what that was going to look like. I didn't know what the moving on from it was going to look like. I just knew that the guidance was here. And so from here, now we all get to like help and elevate each other into the next possibility. And from that state comes dreaming. And so after I had my feelings of crying into my yogurt about the situation, I started to write out like, what about this place do I love, and from other places I've lived, and what am I dreaming for from the next place. And so I have these asks for spirit, and then I have the asks that are not as specific, that are going to go out into the community, right? But there's still this like holding of like, okay, this is what I'm asking for, and how am I going to get in alignment with that, and then just trusting and not getting wrapped up in the in the mess and the muck of what moving specifically can be.
Right. Yeah. There's so many aspects to it, because it's like you do have to do the physical moving, and that's a bitch.
It's a bitch.
And it's like, okay, yeah, how much better can it get?
How much better?
You know,
it gets to be a space of clearing. Like even on this last one, I cleared out some stuff, but now this one, I'm actually kind of excited, because I'm like, there's even more that I'm ready to clean and clear away and detach from, which is so beautiful.
Yeah. It's a purge. It's a purge of sorts.
In this state that you're in this void state, What's something you're celebrating right now? It's a question I usually ask in the beginning, and I forgot.
Love it. What am I celebrating right now? Quite honestly, I'm celebrating myself in the way that I have navigated such massive change and such deep unknowns. And the way that I have shown up for myself every day and getting up at 5 so that I can get to yoga by 7:30 and doing my whole morning practice. Like Brady one day was like, wow, it's 7 a.m. and you're on your way to yoga and you've already done your whole morning practice. And I was like, holy shit, I'm amazing. You're amazing. It's like, wow. And so I'm celebrating that I have like deepened my connection to source. And it's guiding me, and I can be in such a vast place of unknown and just still show up for myself and, be deepening into my practice and yoga, and gratitude journaling is quite humbling because it's like, even when you feel like you're in scarcity, you're like, well, here's all the things I'm actually grateful for.
Preach it, girl. I talk about gratitude all the time.
God, I love it. I love it so much. And I've gotten down to like the tiniest, like the breath in my lungs all the way up to like, something I get to do this summer. Like it's just it's so wide. But yeah, I just continue to surprise myself, quite honestly, because I'm not this person. I am now, apparently, but I'm not the person that just like quits things and like doesn't have things lined up, but is just like, I trust in myself and I trust in my plan and I trust in the universe, and I'm taking action in my business. I'm taking action with myself. I'm taking action in my life, and I trust that things will unfold the way that they're meant to. I feel, I'm like I'm on the precipice. And so I'm just celebrating, quite honestly, my connection to source and my connection to myself, and prioritizing my self-care, and knowing that when my vessel is clean and my vessel is aligned, that's when I can receive, and that's where I create from. And so it's like life, almost cleared itself in a way to make space for that deep self-care.
So that you can be in alignment for everything that you've been trying to call in.
Yeah. And that's one of my gratitudes when I'm journaling, is like, I'm grateful for my connection. I'm grateful for my awareness. I'm grateful for my ability to articulate what I need in really hard times, and just show up for myself and know that like it's so necessary. It's so necessary.
Self-care is not selfish, and it's not just like skincare and stuff like that. I feel like
so cliche. Yeah.
It
can get so cliche.
There's something that came through though while you were talking about that, like being in the beautiful flow and unfoldment of things, but also having these action steps that are being taken. And one of the things I was reading, and I don't know which card it was one of the Kuan Yin ones, about just how like we all, of course we all hold that balance of masculine and feminine within us right now. And I actually feel like that's kind of this big shift that we're going through on this planet, because we've been in such a patriarchal masculine world. And so a lot of that structure is what's starting to crumble, to leave room and space for that more feminine flow to come in. And it's like, we all hold that within us. And so we have to be able to, not have to, but we get to find that beautiful mixture of what that looks like for us as individuals and within our own life. So then that just gets to expand the consciousness around us. And it's like, there's so much going on in our world that's so incredibly challenging to witness right now. And I've spoken about this before. It's like the one thing that we can do is come back here and really take control of what's going on here. Because when we're in our power and our authenticity and taking action on our life and like sharing our unique gifts, that's only going to expand the consciousness of the planet, because that just gets to ripple out into all of the beings around us. And you have no idea who you're affecting, whether it's like a stranger or your best friend, and then like the ripple effect, that all of those, that butterfly effect that everything gets to have in the world. So it's like, when we can truly come back here and honor that space, and then work through the self-worth stories, the like, oh, self-care is selfish, and all these different things, and like people-pleasing tendencies and all of that. Like, there's so many layers for us to work through as individuals, and everyone's journey is so beautiful and gets to be their own, but it's amazing to like get to witness you because you also get to be a reflection of me. And I'm like, oh, we're doing so good. So good. So good. Like there's so much to be grateful for, and there's so much to bear witness to the reflections of what is in our external world, of like what's going on here, and like just knowing that you're doing great and you're on the path, and like you're so deeply abundant and you get to receive in every single moment of every day. There's never like a place that you have to get to. You just get to keep showing up to what's here in the moment. Yeah.
It's wild.
It's wild. I was just having this conversation with a friend the other day of like everything that's for us, is what's directly in front of us in that moment.
Okay. Yeah. And we're like, where's it at?
Oh, I can't see it. It's like, it's right here. Whether it's like your dog that's asking for attention, which is like meant to like draw you into the present.
Oh my gosh, Athena does that all the time. I'll be on my phone and she's like, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm gonna put that down. Be like, hi, Athena. And if I don't, she just like gets louder and like bumps my phone with her face. I'm like, oh, okay. Hi, honey.
They're such incredible guides.
She like knows when I'm on my phone, and she's like, no.
Yeah, she's like, no. Henry does the same thing. My friend Blaine was talking the other day how he was like, he's got a really interesting situation, like living situation and work situation that he's in right now, where he's like with dogs, and he's just like, dog is God.
Yeah. Wow.
Animals.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Athena. She's like my like external counterpart of like the goddess within me, but in a cat form.
And just constantly reminding me and bringing me back. And so whether it's a trigger or it's like this really beautiful creature that's just reminding you to come back into like whatever is right here for you in this present moment. It just gets to be so beautiful.
Yeah.
Hello, beloved beings. I hope you're enjoying this conversation. I wanted to drop in really quick and let you know about this amazing community that I have been a part of and that has transformed the trajectory of my life over the last few years in magnificent ways. Back in 2023, I chose to partner with a 52-year-old Japanese company to be a part of a massive movement to change regular tap water into pure, healthy, electrolyzed, reduced, and hydrogen-rich drinking water. We are helping to create a new paradigm for living on this planet and pledge to realize a revolution in true health in the form of economic health, physical health, and mental health. If this sounds like your jam, please let me share the vision with you. There is a link in the show notes to sign up for my email list. I'll gift you a free ebook, and we'll get started from there. How does it get better than that? Now, let's get back to the conversation.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever had this much space to take care of myself.
I was going to say, like, this is the first time you're not just like doing
3 different jobs at one time and working multiple hours a day, multiple hours a week. Yeah. And it's just wild. It's like we were talking about, you're like, how am I going to pay my bills? And then somehow everything gets paid. It's not late. I don't ask for extension. You know what I mean?
Isn't like fascinating though?
I like every month I'm like, oh, this is going to be the month where I like completely face plant. And then like somehow everything gets paid.
Everything.
And I'm like, this is fucking incredible. And so then it allows me to like lean in more. But yeah, it's like, I would say the first couple of weeks that I really had spaciousness in my schedule, I was very much like, fuck it, I'm gonna sleep in, I'm gonna do what I want, I'm gonna be lazy. And then after like I don't know, probably a week and a half or so of that, I was like, oh, I see that this is the time to like go really deep into my self-care. It's like when I'm working, I'm like, oh, I just wish I had all the time for self-care. It's so annoying that I have to go to work. If I were off today, I would be doing this and I would go to yoga.
Yeah.
And so now I have all of this time and I'm like, oh, great. This is when I get to take care of myself now. So I do my morning practice. I go to yoga 4 times a week, which has been the most amazing thing ever, which ties into like the self-care of like the guilt of like, oh, yoga membership. But it's like, no, yoga is like, oh my gosh, benefits on so many levels. But yeah, so it's like it's been beautiful. It's like this time has been challenging and there's been fear, and it's also been the most expansive because I've gotten to deepen into myself and my practices. And like there's something about yoga that's like it's like nostalgic in a way. It's like every time I'm doing yoga, I return to myself. It's like I remember like a distant memory of myself somehow. And it's just been, really nostalgic. And so I'm so grateful for this time that I've had. And it's been hard to settle into it because I'm like, well, when is it going to change? And when am I going to have to go like work a job for many hours again? And like realistically, how am I going to pay my bills? Maybe next month. And so, I don't know that I've ever just surrendered into life so deeply. And then what we were speaking to earlier, like there is doubt in that too. There is doubt. And that's, that's ego. It's like left versus right brain. And so it's like, even when my body's aligned and life feels aligned, there's still doubt. And that I have to work so hard with and thanking it and saying, hey, I recognize that you're here and you're trying to keep me safe. Like, what is on the other side of this when I'm trying to manifest and bring in? This is unfamiliar and this is new. So I hear you and I understand that you're trying to keep me safe. And sometimes we argue. And I'm like, but I don't need you for this. Like, yes, keep me alive, keep me safe. But right now, this thing that I'm trying to shift or welcome in, like, I don't need you right now. I'm like, so if you could just quiet down, I would really appreciate that. And so I'm like having these conversations with myself all the time. And Stuart Wilde says, anytime like doubt starts to creep in, or ego, or the part of your brain that says like, you can't do this because of X, Y, and Z, you say, thank you, I acknowledge this. And I do not accept any energy that is contrary to the unlimited power that lies within me.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it's there. It's on lock now. And so it's like, I'll have the thought creep in and I'll be like, thank you. I understand that this is unfamiliar. And so you're trying to doubt this. And I don't accept. I do not accept this energy because it is contrary to what I can actually do and what power lies within me.
Is true.
Yeah. And so it's just, I'm like, having conversations with ego and my subconscious and my left brain. And I'm like, it's less crazy than it sounds, I swear. And so, it's just been constant work of like surrender, trust, fear, and doubt, and just oscillating, allowing it to all be there. But it's just, fuck, man. It's just been a lot. It's been a lot.
Gosh, it's like, I love that you're laughing about it though, because it's such like a beautiful, because I know obviously sometimes in the moment you're just like, oh my God, what's happening? Also like the fact that we have this ability to have those types of conversations with ourselves, it's like, instead of just letting it take over, and it's like, okay, like I'm going to acknowledge that this is here. It's like as if a baby was crying. It's like, okay, I'm going to acknowledge that you're crying, and also like, how can I like help and support, and like, what do you need right now for me to be able to like show up to this state, which is a lot of what I do, is like talking to my body. Is like, okay, I acknowledge that this here is like, what do I need? What do you need from me right now, so that we can start to like shift what's happening here, because this doesn't, like, I know that that's not true, and I know that this is not my true essence, and also like I'm feeling doubt and scared and scarcity and all these different things right now, and that's okay for it to exist.
But
I guess to be
acknowledgement is really important.
Instead of pushing it away, because whatever we resist persists. Is there.
And then also too, just like what we like focus too much on, we also repel that a little bit as well. So then there's like the fine line of like trusting without like a firm grip. It's just, it's like when I'm in this void space, it's like all of this spiritual, everything I've ever learned and read about, and, like it's all present, right? It's like all of the lessons come online all at the same time. And so it's like I get to like pick and choose what resonates. And sometimes it can just be overwhelming. And I'm just like, I just need to go take a walk in nature. You know,
I just need a reset right now.
I just need a reset. And so sometimes, as a Capricorn, I definitely get caught up in doing everything the right way and doing everything very precisely. And I was just reading something that said, God's will is not so fragile that if you drop it, it'll, break and shatter. Like, you're allowed to get on a path and be like, oh, that's not right, and get off. But you can't really fuck it up. The only thing you can fuck up is if the message is very loud, right? And it's like, do this thing, go in this direction. I could not be louder. And you're like, no, I'm going to do something else, but it's like, we can't really fuck it up. And so what I do is I wait for God, spirit source, to like tell me everything. And it's like, no, it's free will. Also, it's like also what I want to do. Yeah. So then it's the balance of like, what is source telling me and what do I want? And like which one to lean into? Is it both? And it's just been like the most beautiful head fuck of an experience, quite honestly. And it really shows me like what I can lean upon in these times of unknown and what's useful and what's not. And so yeah, it's like for every bit of trust that I have, like I have doubt too, and it's like there's big, grand things that I am working towards in my future. And then every time I think about it, left brain is like, oh, well, how are you going to do that? Oh, we're not going to have enough money for that. And I'm like, oh, hey, I hear you. I know that that's not a place we've been, so that's unfamiliar. And yeah, sometimes it's soft and I'm like, hey, like I hear you. Thank you, and then other times it's not. It just depends.
And it's just really intense. And you're like, yeah, I don't need that right now. Yeah. But thank you for being there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's such an honor to like witness you. I love how you're speaking to all of that because it's just a testament to like the constant showing up to the practice, to life, to these spaces of like unlearning patterns and coming back into deep resonance of self and like continuing to show up to create our life regardless of the crazy ass circumstances. There's like a deep resilience within you that I recognize within myself as well, which is so beautiful because it's like life has been so hard. I don't know your entire journey, but we're all having a human experience, so I know that things that have not been great. Things have happened. So it's like, okay, even through that, like I'm not a victim. Like I'm not going to let those things like define my identity. And it's like, it's okay to get caught up in certain aspects of that for a period of time. And also like, how am I growing through this and what's here for me in that space and what are the lessons and like calling on those spiritual practices of like deeply divinely connecting in with source energy, because that is the thing that's always really and truly there. And you're like talking about like, oh, what do I call on in these moments? It's like, well, other people are not necessarily always going to be around. Like your animals are not necessarily always going to be around. So it's like, what, like that's been the constant lesson for me is like, well, what's actually here? It's like you, this important relationship right here, you and source.
Totally. Yeah. Just one and the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's truly beautiful. It's been a ride. Yeah. Like I said, I'm just ready for things to settle. And it's like, even if they don't settle for like X amount of months from now, at least just like a clear direction forward, I guess, and just like, what is a next step? Maybe it doesn't need to be the next step, but it's like, because I just cleared out jobs that I actually really enjoyed, even though I didn't feel the reciprocity, I fucking loved both of those jobs. Yeah. But it was like, I honored myself and I made space for something that I don't even know what I've made space for yet.
If not that, then better.
Yeah, like absolutely.
Only better.
Absolutely. And it's like, whatever that next thing is, or those next things are, still just haven't really
revealed themselves.
And so it's like, how much longer do I hang on? You know what I mean? It's like when you feel and you're on the precipice, you're like, like how long do I wait? How long do I keep trusting? until I start, making different moves. And it's like, like I work on my business pretty much every day, even if it's like going to like post a flyer here and there, it's still like, okay, I'm doing something actively every day. And it's like, until that becomes lucrative, what's the thing that I'm doing that still feels aligned? And I think that's what's new for me is that I have
asked
always,
like when you
asked Hoppe.
Okay.
And it said I'm a dancer.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, yeah. Like I'm a dancer. Okay. And it's like, what do I do with that? And then, I mean, that's what Alchemy with Amari is. Like I'm doing dance embodiment coaching, so it's like that vision is clear. And it's like, I don't have a full client base yet. Yeah. It's like, I'm stepping into Alchemy with Amari. There's other things that I offer and that hasn't become lucrative yet. So it's like, what is the thing that I do, right? Because I don't want my business to be like, I don't want to like need clients. I don't want it to be from a place of scarcity. I want to grow my business from a place of abundance, which means that I have to have financial stability from somewhere else, right? So it's like, what is that other place?
Or just like attracting in the clients that are like ready to go. Like that's what I do with my business a lot is like every time I have clients that show up that are in alignment with where I'm wanting to go, I'm like, oh, these people, like more of these people, please, universe. And just like constantly being in that space of like attracting. So speaking as someone who's undergone multiple different businesses. And like back when I had a travel business, there was a point in time where I was taking in a lot of content from other like entrepreneurs. And they were even saying like, there's a lot of people that work a regular 9 to 5 and then they're building their business on the side, right? But there is always this uncomfortable space of like, okay, like I want to focus in on this business, but like I'm still working this job because I need this income. So it's like they're truly, and this is where that aspect of trust comes in, it's like there is a moment where you just have to let that go so that your full attention, energy, and focus, which is like feels like the state that you're in right now, can be in the direction that you're asking to go. So it's like the universe is clearing all this stuff out because it's like, okay, like amazing that you get to focus on your self-care. That's super important. Come back here first. And also you also now have all of this time in this space to like really hone in and get really clear on your vision for what your business gets to be in this life. And from that space, also getting to attract in the beings, the collaborators that are in alignment with that space. Whereas like that energy may be leaking out into another job. And like, even if it's just driving to the gym, stuff like that. So it's like, you now have this like more expanded, like honed space. And so it's like, you get to choose what to do with that. So then there's this like question of, okay, are you willing to step forward into that? And I feel like sometimes we even constrict ourselves within that space of like, because I remember the first time I really started to experience spaciousness and my nervous system didn't know what to do with that. And so it actually freaked out. And so I would bring in chaos unintentionally, but like subconsciously into my world because I didn't know what to do with the spaciousness. And so it's like, okay, I'm here and like it's a little uncomfortable because of these other more 3D things of like money and also like I deeply trust. And what are these actions that I'm taking? And like, are there things that I can do now that I didn't have the energy at the time for before when I was...
Totally. And that's, I've been like scraping the bottom of like, kind of like when you start to make notes of like, oh, well, if I had all the time, I would do this and I would do that. And I've been like, oh, I have all the time. So like, what are these things that I can like, what are these practices I can really start to deepen into? And that's kind of where I'm at now. It's like my whiteboard, it's like half business and then half self. Oh, I love that. And so I'll like check some business things off and then I'll do some like journaling. Turns out I really enjoy typing my journals.
Yes. Yeah.
Turns out it makes me want to journal when I don't have to write 7 pages because I write so damn much.
And then your hand hurts and you're like, I want to keep going, but my hand hurts.
Yeah. So I've been typing my journals, which has been really awesome. But right now I'm working on ways to speed up my manifestations. And what I've been learning is that the way to speed up your manifestations is to get really, really clear on why you want things. What is your intention behind what you want? Like, I want money. I want a product. I want a big house. But like, why do you want those things? What is the purpose? And so there's 7 things on my list right now. And so I'm going one by one. And I'm calling them in the next like year to 10 years. It's not like in the next 6 months. But I've been doing these journal entries of like, why do I want to travel? What does that mean to me?
Yeah. Instead of just being like, I want this. And actually getting, I love that because it allows us to get the intentionality behind why we're doing what we're doing is so important. And that truly is like where the universe responds from. Because if we're moving from our ego, my experience is that the universe is like, well, we're not actually asking to contribute to the collective and to others and to the goodness of the whole. So I may help you get to where you want to go, but it's not going to necessarily like look the way you want, because like your purpose on this planet is to also serve.
Yes.
And to we're going to start to trash your ego too, because like that thing needs to start to be a little humbled, and so that's been a big experience for me, is really getting clear on those intentions. But I love the reminder, because I don't feel like I've been doing that.
It just makes such a big difference. And for me, it's like, obviously, I'm calling in more money. And it's like, okay, how am I trying to do that? I'm trying to do that through Alchemy with Amari. Well, why? And like how? And so my recent entry, first it was like, why do I want to work for myself? And then I was just flooded with like all of the horrendous memories I've had from like my first job at 16. I'm just like all the shitty people I've worked for and all the times I've been mistreated. And I just, by the end of it, I was like, oh, that's why I want to work for myself, so that I like don't have to deal with that anymore. But then it was like, why do I want my business to be successful? I was like, if my business is successful, period, and if it is financially successful, that means I have helped so many women reclaim their innate power, wisdom, and magic. I have helped so many women come home to their bodies through dance embodiment, through primal rage, through personal training, that then my life is a reflection of that. And then I'm in a place of financial abundance. It's like, okay, yes, I want money, but how do I want to make that money? Oh, I want to do that through my business. Why? Why do I want these things? And I'm like, oh, because I want to be of deep service to women who are in need, And that's what success is to me. Success is knowing that I have helped so many women reclaim a part of themselves through the modalities that I offer. That's what's important to me. And then as a byproduct, my life gets to reflect that financially. And that is incredible. It's so much different than just like, I want to climb the corporate ladder and make a lot of money. It's like, no, I just want to be such an integral part of expanding the collective, even if it's in this really small way that I do. It's the ripple. It's like it goes further than I know. And it's
you help these women and they become more of themselves.
Yeah.
And then you just help others from that space.
Yeah.
Coming back into the embodiment piece.
It's huge. It's huge. So the intention has just, it's actually been quite fun too. And I'm just like, oh, I didn't realize why I wanted these things, And like I just on the money piece, which you and I talk on a lot, like 5 months ago, before I stayed in the mansion that I got to house it in, that completely changed my life. I was like, oh, big houses, like, it's just so pretentious. Like, who needs that much space, And I'd be like, oh, who needs that nice big car? It's so loud. And like, because wealth was so unfamiliar to me that I just like subconsciously pushed it away.
Yeah.
And so it's been fascinating just being like, oh, these are why this is why I want things.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have things.
Yeah. And it's okay, like, as you're saying that, I was even thinking about the retreat that we're cultivating and creating, hopefully for next year. It's like the big space that you'd like to rent could be your home. So it's like, why do people need this much space? It's like, oh, well, is it just for you and your partner and your dog? Or is it for something so much more expansive?
Yeah, I've thought about that.
Which is like so cool because I kind of feel the same way about Becomes. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of someone that feels like I like smaller. And also when I think about a home of my own, I'm like, it would actually be so beautiful to have something big and expansive, not for me, but to be able to have the community to come into that space in so many different ways to support other people in their endeavors. Like, yes, come to this space, like share your gifts, do what you do, like help the community in the way that looks. And like, it gets to be fun and beautiful, and it doesn't have to be selfish to ask
That's
for
what it is.
big things.
Yeah. And that's been my obstacle, is stepping into a place of like, oh no, I actually do want big money.
Yeah.
Up until that experience in the mansion. So for the listeners here, I got to house it in a $3.7 million mansion about 5 months ago, and it changed my life entirely because it was like after 9 days of that, after living in a studio for a year and a half, I was like, why wouldn't I want my own private pond that I can like swim in and paddleboard in? Why wouldn't I want a sauna in my bathroom? Why wouldn't I want a jacuzzi on my second floor overlooking my 35 private acres surrounded by horses? Who the fuck wouldn't, you know? And so it just shifted everything.
Like, I get to embody
Holy
this.
shit. I went from like, I'm gonna just like drive my 2012 Subaru and like live in a tiny cottage for the rest of my life. Cause like, that's not for me. That's for other people. That's wealth and nice things are not for me. And everything has shifted. And it's never been from a place of like unworthiness. It's just sheer unfamiliarity.
Well,
like,
and programming, like
and
stuff
programming,
that we've
and programming,
like stuff we've been taught, you know,
and like money is the root of all evil. And what I'm learning is like, no, it's just a piece of paper with ink on it. It's actually quite neutral. It's not good or bad. It's the intention behind it and who's using it for what. And
that's
money
just
in the
the
hands
physical
of good people.
form of it. Like money is an energy. This book that I know we've talked about, but I don't think you've read, but I'm listening to the
Money
loves you. It's basically that it's such a beautiful book and it's so great to listen to. I think it's free on Spotify right now. The way that the author writes it, it's literally like money is speaking to you. The book is money having a conversation with you, which is such a different, like I'm getting shot. I'm like, it's such a different type of a way to like engage with the energy of that.
Okay.
So phenomenal. And it's like, we just getting to like shift these paradigms around money and wealth. And I was having a conversation with a new friend the other day who's going to be on the podcast hopefully in a few weeks. She's a super incredible human and healer. We were talking about that and just, you know, insurance and things like that in this world and trying to make things achievable for people and navigating that realm. And I'm like, well, it all comes back to this source of stories of scarcity and limiting beliefs around all of this and like what we have been taught money to be that it actually isn't. And so it's like we get to, not only do we get to like reclaim this relationship that we have with ourselves and source, it's like money and abundance and wealth gets to be a part of that as well. And it gets to be fun.
It gets to be so fucking beautiful.
What if the purpose of money, I was thinking about what you were talking about with yoga as well. Like, what if the purpose of money was to take care of your body?
Totally.
Because this is the thing where everything else emanates from. So it's like, if we're here and doing what we need to do to take care, it's like, you could do yoga at home, but if like going to yogashala and getting to go do yoga with your friends and like be swirling in that environment from these amazing teachers is like what fills you with like 100%. Vitality in your vital life force, then like that is, even if it's your last $20, that is where your money is meant to go. And whatever is on the other side of that will 100% reveal itself. And it's absolutely incredible. That's where it's at. It's incredible.
And that's where I'm leaning into right now is like, I think that, you know, yoga could be looked at as a luxury, but I'm like, it is fucking essential.
Movement is essential. Whatever that movement is.
My God, the moving, the meditation, like everything about it, the way I feel after, the way I feel just like leading up to it, you know, your body starts to get like in preparation mode. And I think about that all the time. I'm like, to be able to feed myself, you know, to go to the farmers markets and just to like buy all of the produce that I want, you know what I mean? and to like
live
really
healthy and
take care of
well.
my vessel, because it's like our business and our life can only be as healthy as we are. And so I just think it's so important, and it's been fun, and that's why I'm loving the journaling that I'm doing right now, because I'm like, why do I want money? And I'm like, oh my God. And then because it's like for the primal rage release that I offer, it's really hard to find a place to go and like scream. And so I'm like, wow, what if I had a property that were big enough that I could have clients out there and we could do this like sacred release together. And then I also had a dance studio for them, you know? And like, oh, and then we also could like do yoga out there. Like maybe it's the new ecstatic dancing. It's like when my mind really starts going, I've actually gotten quite emotional about it, because I think that like there's this idea that money is selfish. But it's like when I think about like if I were to have overflow, like excess money, taking my mom to Greece, you know, like she's never left the country, that kind of thing. Or like, I don't know where my dad would go, but like sending him wherever he wants to go. My sister has a horse. She's always wanted to like open her kitchen window and like feed Theo a carrot. You know what I mean? And I've actually like sobbed at how incredible it would feel to be like, here's $5,000. Here's $5,000. Here's $5,000. Like, go do whatever you want with this. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. And I'm like, oh, it's not just for me. It is so much more. And I think there's just such this essence of selfishness with money, and it's actually so beautiful, and it can do really profound things in this world. And so that's where my rewiring has been. It's like, what beauty can come from having an abundance of money in the hands of the right people who have beautiful visions, who can even make other people's visions come true. You know? And so it's like when you think outside of that, it's like, oh my God. I just get so excited about it. Because at first I was like, well, of course, like I would get, you know, my dream car, which is a Bronco, and I would get a really nice house. And I was like, okay, Amari, let's think outside of that. What else would you do if all of those things were covered, right? And the debt, and I took $1 million. I made a list of everything I would spend it on, and I subtracted everything. I was still left with like $600K. So I was like, okay, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty, and that was like investing. That was the Bronco. That was the house. That was sending like, you know, tons of money to my family. Debt, like I just everything. Like what would I do with $1 million? I still had $600K, and I was like, hey, that's amazing. And I just remember that being such a cool activity, because I was like, oh, wow. Like I could do so much. And then there's still so much. And then it's like, okay, what would I do from that point? And it's like, oh, you give and you give and you give and you support and you help. And it's just so much has shifted for me since this house sitting gig. And now I really enjoy money. And like thinking about it and talking about it, and I would just shun it, you know? And now I'm like, no, like let's go there.
I get to be one of those ones where it's like, what did we say the other day? Money is safe with me.
Money is safe with me.
Money is safe with me. Yeah, it's, can you do more with or without money? Can you help more with or without money?
And I think too, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just like such a beautiful concept, because I feel like there's kind of this, I don't know what the right word is. It like, when people are kind of embodying this, like, oh, I don't like money, like, so that makes me, I don't know, you know, cool or above it or whatever.
Totally,
or like, like better than like, oh, like money doesn't matter to me. Like we don't need like all that stuff. And it's like, okay, I get where that's coming from, but it's also like coming from a state of fear instead of a like, but what if you just got to engage with this energy? Like money's not bad, like you said.
It's still pushing it away to some degree. And I understand that. And I think it's beautiful to not need a lot. And I think it's beautiful to know. That's what I think it is. I think it's beautiful to know that you don't need a lot and that you want a lot. And that's the place I'm finally in, is like, I know what it feels like to live in a yurt. I know what it feels like to backpack in other countries with literally a 30-liter backpack. I know what it feels like to live in a tiny studio. I know what it feels like to not know how I'm going to feed myself. I know what it feels like to not know how I'm going to pay my rent. I know what it feels like to be in scarcity. And I also know that money does not equal happiness, security, or freedom. Like those are things we create within ourselves. And so it's like knowing that I can take off with a backpack and go to another country and still feel home within myself. That lets me know that no matter what my home is, I'm home, you know? And that's really what it is. It's like, I know this end of the spectrum. And so I would now want to experience the other end of the spectrum, because even in the times where I didn't know, quite literally last winter, like how I was going to feed myself, I would get out my mat and I would pray. And I would pray to Goddess Lakshmi, and I would do money meditations, and I would do everything that I knew how to do to raise myself up out of that, you know? And so it's like, it's just, it's like now that I know safety and security and abundance in times of extreme scarcity, and how the smallest things were so big, and how I can live in the smallest fucking space and be so happy, you know? Yeah. And like drive my 13-year-old car and love the shit out of her. Like, that's how I know I'm ready for it. That's how I know I can welcome it in and it'll feel good. And that it won't feel gross and it won't feel selfish, you know? It's like, I know what this other side feels like. And I was so fucking good. And I made it through that with, you know, ease and some tears and mostly ease, right? So it's like stepping into the other side of that spectrum. It's like, I don't expect that to bring me contentment or peace. Like those are things that I have cultivated within myself in times of great scarcity, you know? So it's just, and I know I'm so grateful for those times. Like I remember those times where I like, you know, I ran out of my SNAP benefits and I was like, fuck, like, how am I going to feed myself, you know? And just remembering like, I know that this is an experience I need to have. This is part of my karma right here, right now. This is a part of my karma. I need to have this experience and I need to work through it. And I need to have this so that I can experience the other end of the spectrum. Yeah. It's like so clear.
That's amazing.
It's so cool.
I love it. It's one of those things where it's like those moments when I've been deep down in it too. It's like, and then coming out onto the other side and being in this state, the only way that we can be the leaders that we're looking to be in however we're looking to express ourselves in the world through our work is we can only speak through what we've experienced and lead from that space. And that is a space of like true authenticity. And so if we're like truly asking to, you know, experience like the most amazing love, it's like, okay, you're going to be forced to look at all the places where you don't love yourself. Like you have to know the shadow side. If you're asked, it's beautiful to ask for the light and to like guide yourself there. And that's incredible. And it's not going to happen, which has been a hard thing for me to come to terms with over the years. Like it's not going to happen without truly acknowledging that there's like going to be some sort of shadow that you work through. And that may be really intense. It may be not so intense. It just kind of depends on what your karma is on this life and on this planet. And there's also like layers to it as well. Because it's like we get to one end and it's like, okay, the next time that it comes in, it might be a little later because we worked through it. But also like the way that you're now going to get to show up in alchemy with Amari and show up for these women is like this powerful, radiant being that has been through some epic transitions and like turmoils. And through that, just getting to lead them into the space of like their highest embodiment, so that they can be their best selves for the planet and guide them through those shadowy places. Like we can't guide through stuff that we haven't been through. So it's like every time those spaces come in, I'm just like, thank you. Deeply thank you. Yeah. And also thank you for getting to be in this state that I'm in right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where the gratitude journaling comes in.
Always.
It's like, and sometimes I'll do, like, I'll go back and forth. Some days I'll do, like, today I am so grateful for, and it's just 10 things when I do my journaling. and I'll list those 10 things out. And then the next day I'll do like my future gratitude. It's like, oh, I am so grateful. It always starts with, I am so grateful for another day in this body, in this life, on this earth. And then it'll be like, I am so grateful that Alchemy with Amari is so successful. I am so grateful that I am so financially abundant. I am so grateful that Brady and I are traveling all over the world, you know, and I'll get in that energy of the things that I'm calling in and the things that I'm working towards. And just to like, and then I always read everything out loud. And then by the end, I'm like, oh my God, like what a great life. So great. Oh my gosh, you know, look at what we're creating.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yes. But it really does take those times of like being in vast unknown and massive transitions to like really fucking appreciate what's on the other side. Like that contrast, it is as hard as it is so fucking essential. That is so essential. It's like you can't, it's like, yeah, it's like, how do you even fully appreciate what is on the other side if you haven't been on the side, you know? You get it.
I'm like so excited for what's on the other side for both of us in this space right now.
I know. And I'm trying not to be like, okay. Like that video I was watching this morning just about, they were kind of like signs that you're like right about to have your breakthrough. And I was like, oh, literally every single one is like what I'm experiencing right now. That's so great.
So like what? And it's also like, okay.
And how it's like to us, right? We think that everything's happening really slowly, but it's like there's like these really small things, people, places that are being put into place.
The universe is doing its thing in the background. So you're just like, okay, I know that you're doing stuff for me. I'm here for it.
And in the meantime, I'm just going to do a shit ton of yoga and dance around my studio.
Fuck yeah.
You know?
Fuck you.
Yeah. So love that. I don't know. I know.
You know.
And I don't know. Yeah.
Thank you for all of that.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. As we sit in the sweet little corner of my bedroom and my little altar and my bed in the back.
Rainy day.
Oh, I'm so grateful for the rain.
Beautiful.
Thunder. Like, it's so sweet.
So great yoga clearings.
Yeah. We had class together. And so much more to come.
Yeah.
So we're going to put links in the show notes for all of your magic that you're creating.
Yeah. Thank you. That would be awesome.
Deeply support you and the work that you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah. It feels good. Yeah, the path of an entrepreneur. It's a path.
It's a path.
But it feels good.
It feels so good. I would so much rather take this any day than...
It's like I've been waiting my whole life.
Yeah.
Like, what is my thing?
Yeah. We get to the flexibility and the fluidity. It's interesting, beautiful, and challenging and all the things. And I wouldn't trade it for any regular job any day.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to leave with? Do you feel complete?
Yeah, if you guys just want to go to my website,
do it.
I'm off all of the things. I'm not on all of the cool kid apps. But alchemywithamari.com is my website. And I do dance embodiment coaching. I do one-on-one sessions. I also do primal rage release in the forest. And I do personal training as well. I have so much information about it on my website. So if that interests you, please head over there and read all about it.
And hopefully a co-creative retreat next year that we
and a retreat
to talk about what we're
called the Coven. Yeah.
Planting seeds for that.
Yeah, we're gonna get really witchy.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.